It is your boy, the Mulatto Ronin, back on at it again with another banger and fire video for y'all's out there today. They're y'all. Welcome on back to the channel. But guys, I got a cook on this particular topic. But you know, guys, Black History Month is literally coming up next month. And as a racially ambiguous man and learning my history, Black History Month needs to be really reclassified, like all together, because a lot of the leaders that we see, they're not black. Malcolm X, he's not black. He has white, he's mixed. Even though he's MGM, if I'm not mistaken, like myself, he still falls into that mulatto type of category. And then you also got, first generation mulattoes, black and white. And our traits are different. We move different. And then on top of that, knowing the history, how our class in America was erased due to the dumbass one drop rule. Hell yeah, like we need proper representation because we do not get all treated the same out here. The dark skinned woman going through it, she definitely don't get treated or get like respect like that. Is sad. And the light skinned man, we seen as a threat everywhere we go. So let's get this shit right. Because a lot of the so-called black relationships you see, they really borderline interracial. Like if you mix race, whether you MGM, multi-generational mix, or you just black, dark skin, like come on now. When you look around and you look at places, like you always see the darker skin tone with the lighter shade. It like you don't see too many dark skins. And yeah, you'll see some light skin here and there, but with us men, it's like knowing the history and everything and just seeing a lot of the behaviors and just the differences, you really in your own lane in society. And there needs to be proper reclassification of all of this, because as a light skinned dude, your experience is going to be very, very different. Because the black community already going to look at you a certain type of way right off the rip. And then no matter how good or bad you're doing, but especially when you start to become great, you starting to move smart. Oh yeah, they don't like that. And that's not talked about enough. And listen, this is not me shitting on the black community whatsoever. I just want proper reclassification, and knowing my experience as a, mixed racially ambiguous type of man walking around, it is not the same as a black person. Even black women has told me straight up. I'll try to find a receipt, even on YouTube as well. They agree with me, that, hey, we don't really consider y'all black. And, and that needs to really be talked about, because we need proper representation. Not all black is black, and that needs to be really discussed. So I would consider the Black History Month reclassifying it to Black and Golden History Month. Yep. So the black and golden race, so the golden race consists of mulattoes, MGMs, multi-generational mix. You got the Blasians, you got people like Kamala Harris, black and Indian, they're Afro mixed people. And then you got the Afro Latinos as well, so these are all mixed race, and we move different as a people. That's not to say that we better, but it's just like, me seeing somebody, especially knowing my experience as a racially ambiguous man, light skinned, and carry myself well, look decent, been in the hood, and been in better parts as well. Just going through life and seeing how people look at me, and seeing the image that has been destroyed on me by the black community, and even other races of people joining in and thinking that that's the way to do things. No. And then looking at the dark skinned black woman, leaving her with literally no protection, which is sad. It's like, I feel like as a light skinned dude, I'm like, we like the only group of people that really look at black women, dark skinned black women, and we really see them for who they is, like. And even though I still naturally gravitate and I want a racially ambiguous mulatto type of woman out there, which I'm definitely going to get, as I keep on grinding and, becoming better, because I know how to move. And I also understand that the black community moves very different and is a lot more stronger outside of America in general. I much rather be out there in Europe or a place like Australia and be around other racially ambiguous and even other black people, because there is a real connection. Like there is real, like Africans, they they have a lot more respect for me compared to the average black American. And heck, even back in Florida growing up, like a lot of close people that I really hang with, it was a lot of Nigerians and stuff, And it just like it's a different type of dynamic. And I'm not saying this to just separate and be like, no, but you have to understand a mixed race type of Afro person, they gonna move different. They got other stuff in their gene pool. They is not black. And then on top of that, if they was, see, I wouldn't have a problem if we all got treated fairly. But every dark skinned person, no, they always gonna feel some type of way towards towards a light skinned male. Like we bring out the insecurities out of everybody. You can be the coolest person ever. You still gonna bring out the insecurities when you become a threat. And you smart, sharp, everything, educated, and you know how to move, and you ain't got no criminal record, and you can pull a woman, and you ain't got to embrace the street life and still be smooth and still get women. You a powerful individual. Even white people don't like that. White people definitely don't like that. Hispanics definitely can't stand you. So with all the obstacles and, like literally it's war when you're a light-skinned man walking around. So I gotta have my guard up everywhere in America. So with my type of mentality, even though it may seem like I come off as like, oh, they're privileged, they're this and that. No. The light-skinned woman might be privileged to a degree, but she has to go with the notions of the black community and that dynamic if she want to really rise up and go far out here, which I understand why she do. But if you truly respect yourself, you're not finna go for that. And then you can't get mad at the light-skinned dude for getting with a white woman because it's like, I'm not really seen as black like that, So if that's the case, heck yeah, I might as well go ahead and get a white woman or whatever else a woman, But I just had to point out this dynamic because the dynamics between if you a racially ambiguous type of man, and listen, I'm not saying this out of hatred whatsoever. I just want proper identity, especially because I'm seeing a lot more black men. They're race mixing out here, and they're getting all these different groups of women, whether they be Latinas, primarily Latinas. That's what they like primarily. Some white women here and there, but a lot of times, like when they race mix, and I'm seeing more and more of these mixed kids, I want them to grow up with proper identity. So, and also know their history, because your history was a race. That one drop rule, nah, throw that shit out the window. That is not true. You had your own class before Mr. Mixed Man and Woman, but it got a race, because listen, man, like we gotta have some structure. Like you as a light-skinned man have no business trying to prove yourself to anybody. You was in your own lane, you mixed, hey, that's cool. Like you can move however you need to move. You move different as a people, and when you grow and hit success and reach your maximum potential, yeah, say you mix. Go ahead and say you mulatto. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It is not derogatory, none of that. You is racially ambiguous. Because like this is why I say a lot of us, we need to really learn our history, both black people and racially ambiguous people, so that way we know how to properly move and we can actually help one another. Because I'm seeing a lot of black dudes, they out here race mixing, and I feel like a lot of them need to really communicate with us and see how we move as well, so we can put each other on game. So like when I don't want to see things go south, because I know people out there race mixing, and black man dips, and leaves for whatever reason. Not trying to paint that narrative, but and then the other community, they're like, oh man, like we should have stayed with our own. Like I don't want to see that dynamic. I want to see strong families. So that's what I want to see. But a lot of people need to really sit down and just understand both people's communities. And it should not be a crime against nature to embrace everything that you have, because a lot of people want the mixed Afro people, especially the man. They want to throw us into a box, and nah, you don't belong in a box. You're mixed race. You move different as a people, as a person. And that's not to say that we're better than better than anybody, but we're different. And even the women know it, everybody know it. The only people that don't seem to grasp this is the light-skinned people. You know, stop trying to go hard to fit in. Embrace who you are. You got a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know, hey, you can flip that hood switch sometimes. You can flip that white boy switch sometime. You know, like, yeah, like you got that awesome, cool ability. You know, most people wish they can do it, but because they can't, they want to go ahead and shit on you. So I think it's very, very important that we get proper classification for Black History Month. And it's, yeah, because Malcolm X, they're not black, man. A lot of the so-called famous inventors, they're mixed race. Yeah, so we need proper identification so we can have real proper representation. We can own our image, set the better narrative for us, like for ourselves, and say, hey, listen, man, this is Black history. This is mulattoes. You know, mulattoes, the golden race people, you know. So yeah, so the reclassification, it is Black and Golden Race History Month. That is what we gonna call this. But it is your boy, the Mulatto Ronin. Like and subscribe, share. Y'all take it easy.